Hi everybody, welcome to Tuesday's Keeper Chat. Keeper Eric, Keeper Grace is in the snow leopard exhibit. Let's check her out. There she is, putting up meat for the snow leopards. The snow leopards aren't out in the yard yet. We're gonna put them out in just a minute, but we thought we'd show you a little bit about what we do for the snow leopards to keep them occupied. So Keeper Grace has some meat, that's their normal diet, and she spread it in different places throughout the exhibit. And then she's gonna take some scents and put those in a burlap bag, it looks like.
Well, I've got actually, I'll put this on first.
Okay.
So the burlap bag I had in the Red Panda exhibit for a couple days, so it smells like Red Panda. And then inside the Red Panda bag, I put hay that I pulled from the goat yard, so it smells like goats.
Okay, so lots of different scents. Where are we gonna put that on the chain? Okay.
I lost the sandy log.
There we go.
And I also grabbed a couple different scents to put other places in the exhibit. We've got just, what is this? Some pear body splash, some curry powder, and then red licorice.
Okay. That's an oil we mix up in water and it smells like licorice. We'll start answering your questions here once the snow leopards are out, but if you have some questions, go ahead, you can start asking them now, and we will answer them in a few minutes.
Alright, so now I'm all set. I cleaned up the yard already. I spread out their meat all over it. I gave them new enrichment, so I'm gonna go out of the exhibit, secure our doors, and then you'll hear me call Eric when I'm ready to shift the leopards back outside.
Right.
And then I'll meet you guys out here.
Okay, so we'll bring the leopards out, and then Grace will talk a little bit more about snow leopards and then answer any questions you guys have. So I'm gonna scoot back. I don't wanna be close to the fence because the snow leopards can reach their paws through. They look very cute, but they are potentially very dangerous. One thing you might have noticed is I'm wearing a mask and Keeper Grace is wearing a mask as well. And that's because apparently, oh, here's Grace calling me. 10-4, that's fine. Snow leopards are going to come out here in just a second. Here they come. While you watch the snow leopards, we're wearing masks because a tiger at the Bronx Zoo was tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, and we want to... 10-4. Okay, so a tiger at the Bronx Zoo tested positive, and apparently it got the virus from... Okay. You found the meat over there. Okay, let me finish my thought. A tiger at the Bronx Zoo caught the COVID-19 virus, and so we just want to make sure that we don't pass it to any of our cats. We're also being proactive in making sure we don't give it to any of our primates or any of the other potentially sensitive animals. So that's why we're wearing masks. Nobody here has the disease, we're fine, and it's just an extra precaution to make sure that nobody gets it.
Right, I made it.
Okay.
Hi, Riley.
I told them why we were wearing masks.
Oh, yeah. Just
Okay.
an extra precaution since there's so many unknowns right now. So we have 2 adult snow leopards here at Miller Park Zoo right now. Right in front we have Himba. She's our adult female. And then up there on the rock work we have Rylu, that's our adult male. Both of our snow leopards will turn 10 May 11th and 12th. They have birthdays really close together. This pair have had 5 babies in the past that all live at other zoos now, all over the country. Sorry, I'm out of breath now.
Keeper Grace literally ran around the building, so she's tired. Want to say hi to Dr. Romanowski, who's watching. Thanks for watching, Dr. Romanowski.
So, like I said, both of these guys will turn 10 next month in May. In the wild, they would be nearing the end of their lifespan. In the wild, snow leopards believed to live to be about 10 to 12 years old. However, in zoos, they've been known to live well into their early 20s. I was like, wait, what's that? That wasn't
You
there before.
smell something.
Yay! It's always so exciting when they use your enrichment. So going to the enrichment, I don't know if your phone will like that.
It doesn't. Somebody asked to rotate my phone, but I can't rotate it while I'm filming. I'd have to stop and start again, so sorry.
So there are several different types of enrichment that we do with our animals here at the zoo. And depending on the species kind of determines how often and what type of enrichment we do with those animals. Somebody with, like the snow leopards, they are predators, so they respond really well to scent enrichment or sensory enrichment. So that's what I gave them today. A lot of the stinky hay, the stinky goat hay, new different perfumes, things like that. You also have to have kind of species specific. Say I wouldn't give the same thing that I would to the snow leopards to like a small cat or a small mammal or something like that. And vice versa as well. You have to make sure that the item that you're giving the animal is safe for that animal. Like I can't give these guys a bunch of little plastic toys and stuff like that. They would be a consumption hazard.
Grace, your mom is asking, are we hoping if they'll mate again?
We are hoping that they will mate again. Well, mating was actually back in February. So we did see some mating. However, we don't know if she's pregnant or not yet. So we will find out in May. So the way I scattered the food all over the exhibit, that could also be considered a type of enrichment as well. I would call that scatter feeding. I do that quite a bit with our animals just because, just to help them use their brains. They have to use those senses that they are so good at using. So you could see Rylu right before he hopped up there, he could smell the meat, he just didn't know where it was.
Grace, we're having a lot of people mention that they would love to have a snow leopard as a pet. Can we talk a little bit about why that's not really a great idea?
I would not suggest any big cat, for that matter, as a pet. There are a lot of unique requirements needed to take care of a big cat. These guys eat about 2 pounds of meat, just shy of 2 pounds of meat every single day. So that can be expensive. You also need housing requirements for these guys. These guys can leap over 30 feet in the air, so they need something tall enough, high enough for them to show those natural athleticism.
They're also very dangerous.
Right, they're also very dangerous. You'll notice that even Keeper Eric and I are not standing right up against the mesh, as that would be dangerous for us. These guys can reach through this mesh, and they've got some really sharp claws and really sharp teeth that they would use, or that they do use to kind of catch their prey. Oh, did you catch that? Himma's doing a really good phlegm response with that curry powder.
Yeah, I got her on there. So if you were watching yesterday, we talked about the Jacobson's organ, which is that chemoreceptor on the top of their mouth that snakes have, and snow leopards have it too, and she was just exhibiting that phlegm in response to use her Jacobson's organ. Pam wants to know, have we ever heard them doing a territorial call here at the zoo?
That if you've ever heard us or seen us feed the snow leopards, you probably heard Himma. She will protect her meat. She does growl at Rylu to protect her meat from him quite a bit. A unique thing about snow leopards is that they actually cannot roar. They make lots of other vocalizations, like chirping and mewing and purring and stuff like that, but they don't roar.
Janie missed their names. Can we repeat their names for her?
So who are you on? Are you on
I'm
Rylu
on the tree,
up top?
yep.
So Rylu, our adult male, is getting some meat out of the tree up top. And then Himma, our adult female, is on the ground underneath him. And they will both turn 10 this May.
Okay. Trey, who's age 8, wants to know, what do they like to play?
That's a good question. So these guys, I mean, they like, you can see they have a little jolly ball down there on the ground. That's in a different spot every morning when I see them. Snow leopards during the day, I don't see them playing. These guys, these are older cats as well. So I don't see them playing as much, but they are also crepuscular. That's your vocab word for the day, crepuscular. So that means that they're going to be more active right away in the morning at dawn, and then in the evening at dusk as well. So they're not necessarily very active during the day, especially snow leopards. We're getting into those warmer months, and these guys are built for those higher altitudes, those colder temperatures up in the Himalayan mountains. And so they do have some pretty dense fur that helps protect them from the cold. Also the heat, it kind of insulates them from the heat as well.
So that goes along with Micah's question. She says, are their ears smaller than other large wild cats?
That is a great question. Yes, they are smaller than other big cats, and it is believed that that's kind of one of the adaptations that snow leopards have to help them retain heat. So their ears are smaller so that they don't have as much heat loss from those ears. You'll also notice, Rylu, turn around. He's like, no.
Not now.
I was going to talk about your nose, dude. Come here. Hi, look at your nose. Here's your handsome nose. So snow leopards also have a shorter and wider nasal cavity, a nasal passage. And so that allows the air to warm up some before it would go down into their lungs. Another one of their adaptations are those awesome big feet. People say that they're kind of natural snowshoes. And then one of those last big common adaptations. There you go. There's a little bit of territorial behavior. Rylo got a little jealous. But that also gives us a great view of his tail. So they do have a fairly long tail compared to their body, especially compared to other large cats. And that is for a couple different reasons. The long tail helps them balance when they're leaping those long distances. But it also, if you ever come when they're sleeping out here, you may see that tail wrapped around their entire body. So they kind of use that as a built-in scarf to help keep them warm. But it's also believed that they will also put the end of that tail over their mouth, again, to try to help warm up that air before they breathe it into their body.
I'm going back from trying to catch up with all the questions.
Yeah, those are good questions.
Audrey, who's 4, wants to know how tall they are when they stand up.
Ooh, that's a good question. Riley's probably about as tall as I am. So just over 5 feet when he's standing up on his hind legs. I don't know. I've never measured him like that. I do know that Rylu, he is on the hefty side. He's on a bit of a diet. He's not getting quite 2 pounds anymore. But Rylu is close to 90 pounds. So he is a bigger cat, and Hima's closer to like 60 pounds.
Do they purr like a cat?
I think they chuff more often.
They have a really high-pitched kind of meow almost.
Yeah.
That's kind of their go-to call when they're distressed or something.
Hima's doing a really good Fleming response.
Is
too.
she? There we go. Let's see if I can zoom in on her
Can
real
you zoom
quick.
in that far?
Yeah, I got a good zoom.
So you can see her curling her lips up. I don't think I sprayed anything back there. There must be something else smells good back there. I don't know if I can get Hima to chuff. Hima, come here. Come here. Hima sometimes chuffs at some of the keepers that she knows. But I think these masks might be kind of wigging her out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she'll come down
We
here and
just started wearing these masks, so all the animals are kind of not used to them. Do we know how many the zoo has had?
That is a...
Yeah,
know?
historically, we got this pair in, how long have they been here now?
6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years.
Longer than I've been here.
Yeah, and these were our first in quite a while. We had some a long time ago. We even had snow leopard cubs a long time ago. We're talking 20, 30 years. But since these two have come, we've had these two and then their 5 offspring through different years.
Oh, can you see Hima? A lot of people, I know other guests, she's in the pool. A lot of guests sometimes ask, I've heard ask me where their drinking water is. So Hima just went down into that pool. There's actually water down in the rockwork down there. It's not completely full because I pulled the plug while I was in there cleaning, and it's filling back up now.
Yeah, she's getting a drink, so of course we can't see her.
Right. But a lot of people ask where that water is.
Nikki wants to know how we can tell them apart from each other.
That is a good question. So Rylu up on top, he is overall he's a larger cat. I also believe that he's got like a wider face. I think he's stockier cat as well.
Yeah. And
then when Hima comes back out of the pool, I can point some features out for her too.
Yeah, of course. Jackson, who's 7, wants to know how fast they can run.
So I figured somebody was going to ask me that. I didn't know that number off the top of my head. I looked it up right before this. I found on the internet that they can run about 35 to 40 miles per hour.
Okay, that's a lot faster than us.
Yeah, that's
There's
a lot
Hima
faster
getting
than
out of the
There's
water.
Hima. So if you can see her, I think she's got like a narrower, longer face.
Harrison, who's 8, wants to know, do they try to escape?
No, I've never really seen them try to escape. However, if you're ever visiting the zoo, you will notice that there is a top on their exhibit.
Yeah, slowly pan up to the top.
That is because they are such great jumpers that I have seen them sleeping up in the top of this tree that's in their exhibit. Or Hima's favorite spot is actually, if you ever are out here and you can't find a snow leopard, look all the way in the top back left corner up on top of the rockwork, and that is Hima's favorite spot to nap in the summer.
Okay. Levin wants to know if we've ever seen them play with the orange ball. We talked about the orange ball, but have we ever actually seen them play with it? Do they actually do it?
Yeah, I've seen them play with it. These guys, I mean, when I put like scent enrichment and stuff on them, they'll bat it around a little bit. And like I said, these guys are slightly older cats. And so I don't see them playing with those plastic toys as much as I have when we had snow leopard cubs. They were always into stuff, playing with all sorts of toys.
Yeah, just like people, that the cubs play around a lot, and as they get older, they seem to lose that.
She's doing it very quietly. I don't know if you can hear it on camera.
Let me get closer. No. Doesn't want to participate. Let's see, where are we? Trey, who's 8, wants to know how cold it gets where they're from.
Ooh, in Nepal, in the Himalayan mountains, it gets really, really cold. I don't know if I have a temperature off the top of my head. Ooh, Rylo's climbing up in the tree right now.
All right, let me get over to Rylo.
Rylo's gonna go for that other one I put up high up in the tree. I would have to look up exactly what I know. It gets extremely cold and windy.
Yeah, so we're talking well below,
below
zero.
zero.
Yeah. Way colder than it gets here.
Yeah, so a lot of, like, whenever we have one of those polar vortexes and stuff, we get a lot of questions about, are all the animals inside? We give these guys access when we get temperatures like that, but they're outside year-round.
Right. What do they eat? Let's talk about what they eat at the zoo, and then what they might eat in the wild, too.
Sure, so here at the zoo, we do feed them that feline meat. That's the same stuff that we feed, like, the tiger, and a lot of the other large carnivores like that. I should say, we give that to them the feline meat to them 6 days a week. And then on the 7th day, we call that a fast day. And that is to kind of emulate how snow leopard would eat in the wild. It's healthier for their digestive system. So on those days, we don't give them that feline meat. We give them like a beef bone, like a femur bone or something like that. And then these guys, the snow leopards, will chew all the meat bits off of the bone, and then they'll chew the marrow out of the center of that bone as well. The tiger completely eats his bone. He's strong enough to crack that bone and eat it completely. In the wild, snow leopards are going to eat small ungulates or hoofstock, like blue sheep, ibex, but they'll also hunt smaller stuff like marmots, pikas, which are small rodents, and small and hares, rabbits.
So yeah, like rabbit size up to like sheep and goats.
Small sheep, yeah.
Yeah. Are they sneaky? Samantha wants to know.
They can be sneaky, yeah. In the morning, sometimes when zookeepers get here in the morning, the first thing we do is check on all of our animals. And a lot of times when I come around the corner back here, I can't find the snow leopard right away, and they'll be like laying down on the ground behind a log in there or something. They are known to be kind of ambush hunters. They will kind of lie in wait and then sneak around something to make a kill in the wild.
Here's a question from your dad, actually. Are their spot patterns different?
Yes, they are. That is another way you can kind of tell them apart on their faces and on their sides too. That's actually how scientists will ID snow leopards a lot in the wild. They are a very elusive animal, so you can't always see them just when you're going out to observe. So a lot of scientists will set up trail cameras and whatnot, and then the scientists will ID the animal by the pattern on their fur.
Yeah, they're also highly camouflaged. They live where it's snowy and rocky, so that coat blends right in with snow sitting on top of rocks.
There's a couple good pictures going around Facebook I think I've seen recently, that they're like, can you spot the snow leopard? And it's tricky.
Yeah. All right, I think we'll do one more question because it's starting to get kind of late. Pam is dying to know about their leaping ability.
Their leaping ability, yeah.
So let's talk about how they get up and down.
So I've seen, I don't know if you saw Rylu hop up onto that platform up there. I've also seen them leap like I said, Himma's favorite spot to sleep is all the way up in that rockwork and all the way in the back. So I've seen her leap all the way up there. Snow leopards are able to leap about 30 feet in the air. Typically it's about 6 times the length of the cat's body that they're able to leap. I know one of my favorite stories about that ability is that when we had the twin girls several years ago now, I saw them, what is now the Langer exhibit. I saw those 2 girls playing and chasing each other, and I saw them lap that exhibit 3 times before they set foot on the ground.
They do parkour off the walls.
They're very good at parkour.
Yes. Parkour champions of the zoo.
Yeah.
All right, I think we ought to wrap things up. I know tomorrow we're going to do...
The kestrel.
Yes, I think Miss Shannon will be here to talk about the kestrel. Again, we'll take your questions and everything. It'll be really awesome.
Yeah.
We'll try to get back, and any questions we missed here, we'll try to answer later. Yeah. I still haven't caught up from Sunday and Monday, so I'll try to get your questions answered on Facebook from Sunday and
I just want you
Monday.
to chef on camera, Hannah. She's like, no thanks.
No.
But yeah, so thank you for joining us for the Snow Leopard chat. If you feel so inclined to help us out here at the zoo, you can donate to the wildlife. Sorry, my words. You can donate to the Zoological Society on that donate button, and then I will also. I've had a couple questions about how they can help out. I will link our Amazon wish list to purchase some enrichment items for the zoo as well. But yeah, so thanks for watching today, guys. We'll see you next time.